Have you ever felt like your marketing efforts are more of a gamble than a strategic process? Do you feel like you're investing time, energy, and budget into campaigns that seem to disappear into thin air? Or leave you wondering, is this even working? Do you struggle to understand what's driving results and what's just draining resources? Welcome to the Power of Connection podcast. I'm your host, Christy Renee, and this is the podcast that equips you with the actionable strategies to transform your storytelling and your communication into unstoppable forces for growth. You will learn how to be magnetic in your storytelling, communication, and presence. And today we're diving into one of the most critical pillars of my ALIGN framework, capturing attention. Now, why does attention even matter? In today's chaotic, fast-moving world, attention is the most valuable currency. I'm going to say that again. It is the most valuable currency. And if you can't grab and hold your audience's attention, whether it's in a digital campaign, a networking, a pitch, or even a team presentation, you risk losing trust and authority. The stakes have never been higher. Competition isn't just within your industry anymore. It is everyone and everything that is competing for your audience's focus. From emails to social media to everything that distracts them working from home to even the new brain patterns that are evolving due to endless distractions that we live with today. And as a business leader, you carry the weight of making sure that every dollar counts. The pressure to not only grow your brand, but to secure its future probably feels immense. You need marketing that works, not just something trendy, but something that delivers measurable ROI, builds trust with your audience, and helps you dominate your industry. So stick around, because by the end of this episode, you will have 4 practical techniques to command attention instantly and set the stage for magnetic communication that does the heavy sales lifting for you. Let's talk about the attention landscape. Why is it scarce? And why is it more valuable now than ever before? Well, we've all heard the statistic about goldfish level attention spans, but in 2025, we've moved beyond problematically small attention spans. And leading research firms have turned this year the start of a new era of business. And they highlight the pressing need for all businesses, yes, including B2B, to adapt to shifting audience expectations, rapid digital transformation, and a new wave of consumer values. And paving the way for these staggering buyer behavior shifts is a rise in a new demographic of decision makers. 75% of the workforce is now millennial, with Gen Z rapidly joining their ranks. Our ranks. These buyers and decision makers have grown up in a world of infinite scrolling, comparison shopping, and instant gratification. And this has had a real impact. Attention is fragmented now. Trust is harder to earn, and both of these are fiercely contested commodities. And with the rising number of scammers and illegitimate businesses trying to trick consumers out of their hard-earned money, your customers are more guarded than they've ever been. Studies show that while the Business Competition Index is projecting straight up, digital engagement has gone way down. So how can you cut through the noise and inspire trust even in digital interactions? And so if you're at your desk, I invite you to grab a pen and paper or take some notes on your computer. If you're out walking around, save this episode and come back, because these 4 techniques are going to help you do the heavy sales lifting in your communication. And now the first thing I want you to do is break from the unexpected. If you're at a networking event or crafting a social media post, I want you to forget the standard openers. Start in the middle of a story, or start with a provocative question like, what if everything you knew about digital marketing, you thought you knew about digital marketing, was wrong? Something that triggers their brain to say, this is different. Maybe I should pay attention. Break from the norm. And with AI helping so many social posts, we're all starting to sound alike. Notice how I didn't start this episode with the standard, "Welcome to the Power of Connection podcast. I'm Christy Renee, your host." I might do that in further episodes, but for now, with the first one, I wanted you to listen in and immediately go, yes, this is me. Yes, I want to learn about this. And so you can do the same thing in a networking pitch. Use your communication skills to make your audience aware of the problem. Because when you get up there and you're one in a sea of many, everybody is thinking the exact same thing. What's in it for me? So if you can speak to the heartstrings and use emotion as your shortcut to attention, that's another great way to break from the norm. And so let's not start with leading with statistics or facts. Those are important down the line, but lead with a story that connects to a pain point or a deep desire that your audience has. For example, in your messaging, instead of saying, "We're a results-driven marketing agency," okay, probably everyone is. You could say, "We help busy business owners regain control of their marketing, cut through the noise, and see an ROI without the stress of constantly chasing trends." Do you see how that's speaking to what they care about? They're probably thinking like, "Oh, just chasing trends all the time." But this way, you're handling those objections. And now the third is great storytelling. And storytelling follows a simple arc. You want to introduce a relatable obstacle, show the turning point, and end with the growth or the transformation. And now, even in a one-sentence pitch or something I call a one-sentence story, this structure works wonders. So again, you could say, instead of saying, "I help teams improve communication," a lot of people help teams improve communication. You can say, "I've helped teams turn constant miscommunication into a culture of trust that improves productivity." See the difference? Now, number 4, use metaphors and sensory language. Now, last month, I found myself at the Apple store for an emergency, "My laptop just got vodka soda all over it and I need help, please," type of visit. And the Genius Bar associate, who is dealing with a very stressed out and emotional version of myself, had such powerful communication skills that he was able to build trust with me and had me in such a different state when I left the Apple store, to the point I walked out happy to have spent an unexpected $2,600 during the holiday season. And so what was special about his communication? Now, he used storytelling techniques, sensory language, and metaphors to explain the difference between RAM, CPU, processor speed, all of the things of the different machines that I was comparing. And he explained that like RAM is driving on a highway. The more RAM, the more lanes. And he said the more RAM your computer has, the more it can multitask. And so within just a few moments, he began multitasking and, he was a multitasking wizard, really. And the same joke came to the top of our mind and we both said it at the same time, like, "Ha ha ha, you must have a lot of RAM." Now, his communication that day made the difference in how I felt and how much I spent. If he hadn't taken the time to explain and use magnetic communication and storytelling with me, I honestly might have risked it, taken my damaged laptop home, and set myself up for a bigger problem down the line. But instead, he got a sizable commission, I left happy, and I got a better machine. So this is how you can use communication to inspire trust and drive sales. I'm still happy about my machine. He built trust through his words and it inspired such confidence. This is important. I hope you're taking notes. Now, when I worked at the ad agency, it was common for me to work on billboard campaigns. And talk about high stakes, right? You have somebody that's barreling down the highway at 70 miles an hour, and I have maybe 4 to 5 words, only a few seconds, maybe few words. And I had clients that always wanted multiple narratives. They're like, make sure you talk about the new terminal and make sure that we announce that there's more jobs coming and make sure you get, recruitment element and make sure you get our brand evergreen messaging in there of what we do and how you can trust. And, oh, it's our 100th year in business. So make sure that, you get that in there too. I had to tailor my communication skills down to the most potent words ever. And this is an exercise that I recommend to anyone looking to improve their communication, whether it's in client pitches or becoming a better public speaker. Even those looking to improve their email marketing open rates, learning how to be more potent with your words will help you be magnetic in your communication. So to recap, commanding attention isn't about being the loudest or the flashiest or being like, rah. It's not about being something that you're not. It's about being the most relevant. And as a business leader, that means cutting through the noise and speaking to your audience and directly to their needs and desires. So start with something unexpected, connect emotionally, and then use storytelling that paints a picture that they can't help but to remember. Because when your message resonates, it drives results. I'm going to say that again. When your message resonates, it drives results. And so this week, I challenge you to look at your website, your next client pitch, something, and rethink your approach. How can you make it more engaging? How can you make it more emotionally connected, specific, and tailored to what your audience truly cares about? I would love it if you shared your updates and insights with me on LinkedIn or Instagram. You can find every way to connect with me down below. And I'd love to hear how you're refining your messaging strategy based on this episode. And I'd be happy to brainstorm together. Bring it to me. I love doing this. Now, I will say, if you're sitting here and you're like, I don't even know where to begin, tune in next week because we'll dive into the second step of my Align framework, which is learning your audience. And so if you've ever felt disconnected from what they truly care about, if you were listening today and you're like, I'm really aware of our features, but I don't really know what drives them, this episode will provide the clarity that you need to be able to do exactly that and to improve your communication to the point of magnetic storytelling. Until then, stay magnetic, stay focused on what matters, and I can't wait to see you next week.